Salcombe. I hope you enjoyed that little trip down the river. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then my time-lapse video didn't work very well. But yeah, that's my trip. If it has worked out, that's my trip down from Kingsbridge to Salcombe. This is the sort of day where if fishing opportunities are good, I probably wouldn't have bothered coming out. The wind has been strong all week. It's died down today, but the fishing opportunities this year have been so few and far between. You've got to grab them when you can, really. So the plan for today, I'm just going to have one drift in the river here. I'm just around Salcombe. You can occasionally get small mackerel and sardines in the river, so we'll have one drift on the incoming tide with some little sabikis, see if that's any good, and then if not, we'll head out to sea, see what conditions are like. Probably won't get too far out today. There's a little area just outside of the bar which can hold some flatfish, so I've got a little bit of bait, got some ragworm, got some squid, I've got some cooked prawns, which I don't normally use for bait, but had some left over from a meal, so I thought I'd give them a go. Yeah, and we'll see what it brings. So conditions are a bit better than I expected them to be. It's not good. Certainly not good for July fishing. I wasn't expecting to be in a hoodie and break out the snood to be comfortable. Yeah, we're not going to get out to the prime fishing marks, which are about sort of 4 to 5 miles, starting at 4 to 5 miles, heading straight into the southwesterly, and the wind is getting up a bit, so we're definitely not going to get out there. But this area here is sort of one of my favourite mackerel areas, if they are about. So it's certainly good enough to drift for half an hour and see what happens. Obviously mackerel, so I've put some mackerel feathers on. I've got another rod just off the back there with some sabikis on, just to see if there are any launce about. And we'll see if we can't pull something out. It's a decent area for mackerel when they're here. I mean, if they're here, you'll catch them. Off sort of sand and shingle, and then this area here from sort of 30 metres of water onwards, there's a bit of sort of roughish ground there, bits of lumps and bumps and rocks sticking up, so obviously that attracts that holds the smaller fish, and the mackerel are hopefully chasing those. Hopefully. Something's finally had a go at the feathers. Not feeling too mackerel-y. Oh, I don't know though. Don't know. Like that, thank you, and we've got a barbecue. Mackerel fishing's pretty slow, so I've got the feathers out, they're just doing their own thing, and on another rod I've just got, like I quite often use, sliding boom, 6 ounce lead, because we're in 45 metres of water, drifting at 1.5 knots, and then I've got a trace of a couple of foot, and that goes on to a Cox and Roll Sea Beast, that one, with a ragworm and a squid head. I'm not particularly targeting any species, just drop that on the bottom so far. Still got the same rigs down, rag and squid head on the rod that I'm holding, and another rod out with just the feathers on. I've just switched on because we're coming up to a ground feature which I've not fished before. So one of three things is going to happen. I'll either catch a fish, I won't catch a fish, or I'll get snagged up on it. We will see. What are we, about 200 metres away from it, something like that? For anybody that's got the facility, Navionics relief shading on a chart is just incredible. Hang on. Little touch there. I'm on the bottom, so I'll just let that go a minute. Yeah, Navionics relief shading is brilliant. It shows you all of the bottom features in really good detail. Yeah, so it gives you the confidence that you're at least fishing in a good potential area. Nibbled, but I think that's gone. So I've just repositioned on a wreck. I've run over it with a sounder. I tried to show you, but there's too much sun on the screen. You can just see my reflection. It looked a little bit snaggy, so I'm only going to fish with one rod. So we'll have a run over it with the feathers first of all, and see if there's anything on it. Just coming up to the edge of the wreck now. Still a fairly fast drift with that wind. Right on top of it now, just in 40 metres of water. Something's on it. I've never fished this wreck before, and it's not far from the home port, so it'd be nice if there's something on it. Coalfish. You can tell the difference between coalfish and pollock. Pollock have a black lateral line, and coalfish, hopefully you can see it. I'll try that again. So yeah, pollock have the black lateral line, coalfish have the white lateral line, and the pectoral fin of the coalie here, it's a lively critter. If you fold the pectoral fin of a pollock back, it goes behind the dorsal fin, and this one doesn't. There we are, pop him back. Just come around again, we'll have another go with the feathers. Very strange that I used to catch coalfish off the northeast coast, sort of Flamborough Head area, but I've been fishing down here for 34, 35 years. Never had a coalfish before, and then caught one about 2-3 weeks ago, and then the second one today. Very strange. Very tricky conditions out here today. I've given up on bait fishing. It's tide against wind. I tried to show it on the video, but it wouldn't show very well. So I've given up on the bait fishing. I've come very close into the rocks. Moving off, so it's safe. And I'm just going to cast a lure around for a bit. You never know, there could be a bass lurking. This season's got off to a very slow start, but it doesn't really matter today on the water. Storm Biscay shad, I think it is. It's a bit of extra weight, so I'm having to cast it into the wind. There it is. Very good lure for casting. Good video, but it is real. That's just what it's like in this area. I harp on about mackerel all the time, but when the mackerel are here, which they're not yet, yeah, one fish, but not shells in any numbers. When the mackerel are here, the predatory fish are chasing them. Simple as that, really. Motoring for another try. Let's see if that'll work up there. One drift up against the rocks and then drifting out with the wind and tide, just so I knew which direction the drift was going to take me and it was safe. So I can comfortably come in this bay a little bit further in, knowing that the drift is going to take me out safely towards any rocks. One of those days, I think. want to buy a boat. Just heading in then, another testing day in terms of weather and fishing, but if it was easy it wouldn't be worth doing. Yeah, like I said at the start of the video, if fishing opportunities had been plentiful I probably wouldn't have even bothered today, and yeah, that was probably the right call. Still, the season will come on, and we'll see what happens next time. Cheers!